Welcome back, my business besties. And just like that, it's 2026. Saying that out loud still feels sci-fi. Don't you feel like we're living in a sci-fi movie? I was born in 1980, like 2026, and it is a sci-fi movie, which is actually, I'm loving this sci-fi movie. I just love that there's bots and they're not just made of steel and metal anymore, but they live in our phones and our computers. How do you feel? I'd like to set an intention with you. Can we? For 2026. Now you are the most powerful, where we're looking at the year. It has not happened yet. How do you want it to go? You are powerful beyond measure. You are constantly creating your reality. The universe is always reflecting back to you what you are putting out. How do you want this year to go? My intention for you, my intention for me, is that my life and business flow with ease. That's been my intention for years. That's great. But maybe your intention is more, I step into my power as a leader. For some of you, this will be the year where you hit the $1 million mark. This will be the year that you become the boss, that you make your first hire or your 10th hire, that you realize that you don't need to be perfect. You just need to show up. Maybe this is the year that you just stop proving. I was listening to coaching the other day. So I coach in my 6-month business coaching program, and then I have a head coach, and then I have about 6 experts like lawyers, HR, think marketing, all those things. And the head coach was talking to somebody, and she was struggling with confidence. And do you remember as a therapist, or I have to look back and think about that because I'm not anymore, where we would see how beautiful a human our clients are and they don't see it. So this particular person was sharing, like, I don't know about the Christmas party. Like, I feel like I need to have all this figured out, like the culture of the clinic. And I'm such a new boss. And it's hard because I feel like I need to have the best Christmas party and the best everything. And when I'm interviewing, they're asking me these questions and I don't have it figured out yet. And she was feeling overwhelmed and not enough. But the truth is, you don't have to show up perfect. You just have to show up as you, as the baby boss that you are. And as a side note, I hired baby therapists, and that was less. When I say baby therapists, I mean like interns, practicum students. I felt less intimidated by that. But just know that you don't have to be perfect. And maybe this is the year that you just own that I am whole and I am complete and I am perfect as I am. And I'm just going to show up honest and transparent. Like, this is new. I would love your help with this. Interviewee, I would love your ideas. I'm just building this from the ground up. How exciting that you get to come in on the ground floor. Do you see that reframe? As you breathe in, as you're driving, doing the dishes, walking your dog, I just really want you to emanate and calibrate with the universe, always listening. What are you creating? Say it out loud. Pause me now. What are you creating 2026? We've been business besties since 2022 when I actually started all of this. For you, my friend, it's about the harvest stage. You've been sowing, you've been planting those seeds, you've been taking the risk, watering them, doing all that hard work. And now it is about leaning back and exhaling. Yes, you deserve that. Please enjoy this. It's like I picture you with a table, this beautiful dining room table, and you have all of this a feast, turkey dinner feast on it. The thing is, you don't notice the feast because you're looking at the window at the next thing. And some of you have nothing on your table yet because you haven't started or you're not seeing the results yet. But for those of you who have the feast, please enjoy it. I was talking to my family the other day, my kids. I'm always trying to instill these principles in them, of course. One of the things I said is they wanted more of something. And I was trying to tell them that the only way that you will get more is to be grateful for what you have now, because you're constantly sending out this signal, this vibration, this frequency saying that is a certain potency that is just going to attract the same. I'm trying to teach them, don't come from a place of lack. This isn't enough. The energy of lack attracts what? Yeah, attracts more lack. Notice the feast. Enjoy the feast. I love the analogy of the ice cream cone. Picture this. You have an ice cream cone. It is delicious. The most decadent chocolate. It is one scoop. But that's not enough for you, is it? You want two. And I feel you. I also always want more. But here's the problem. We're not enjoying the one scoop. We're too busy looking up at the heavens, at the universe, saying, more, please. More, please. I'd like more clients, bigger, bigger, more. And then the universe looks down at us and says, you can't even handle the scoop you have. And oh my gosh, it's dripping down to my elbow and half the scoop is on the ground. I wasn't paying attention to what I had. So if you can't even handle the wealth and the abundance, and when I say wealth, it doesn't have to be the money yet, all of that abundance that's coming to you, all of the learnings and the people and the little achievements and the big achievements and your progress and you stepping outside of your comfort zone and you doing it scared. But if the scoop is all over the place, you can't even fit another one on top. Can that be your intention? Even for today? Okay, what is working right now? What progress have I made? Oh my gosh, I'm doing so much. That is progress. You are not normal in a good way. We are not normal. The steps you were taking, the life you were setting yourself up to live is not normal. And that is to be grateful for. 2025 gave us data. 2025 gave us information and lessons. But we don't gain the knowledge from the information and lessons until we stop to reflect. This is why I love the new year, because we all, I think every human just takes a moment to be like, okay, new year, turning a page. But before we turn the page, can we read last year's page? Or maybe it was a novel, to make sure that we don't fall down the same pothole, or maybe it felt like a mountain. What were the lessons? What will you not do again? What will you do more of? How will you show up? Who do you need to say no to? Who do you need to ask for help? More importantly, when I say information, metrics. I know, metrics are boring. If you work with me and if you're a graduate or you're a member, I want you to jump into the Content Hub and pull up your sales metrics. Have you been filling that out all year? And your money metrics. You want to be tracking, and don't worry, you can, if you skip some months or this is the first time you're hearing this, I would go back and have your admin track. I won't go into all the metrics, but here's what I'll do. I'm going to link a metrics, like what you should be tracking. I'm going to link that in the show notes. I did a whole episode on that, but high level, you're going to see what months ebbed and flowed in terms of sales, cancellations. When do the cancellations peak? When do the no-shows peak? When do most clients drop off? When do the sales increase? Did you have dips, or was it a straight linear line? Life is never linear. There's going to be dips. And then here's the thing. You can take notes and plan now for this year. Life is never stable. That's one thing we know for sure. Change is predictable. Change is constant. Our life is always changing, right? 2025, there was ebbs and flows. Now, for most of you, specifically working with me, you knew what you were doing, so you were growing every month. But maybe some months your expenses were higher. Please note that. We can plan for that this year. Maybe you got really busy and needed to hire in some months. Please plan for that. So I want you to jot this down, or pause me and get Siri to write it down for you in your reminders. Go back and notice your money metrics. So that is when the revenue flowed. I want you to be on top of your cost per session. Was there more expensive months, busier months? And then your sales metrics. Now within sales, you want to be measuring your Google ads. When did they peak? When was it more expensive? Typically the end of the year. Everyone's pushing ads, so that's going to be more expensive. But here's the other big thing. You are a well-rounded human being and your life is not your business. I know it feels like that. But you also have the ebbs and flows in your marriage, your ebbs and flows in the lives of your children, or if you're single, dating, there's ebbs and flows. You have busy times where your kids are really busy. Maybe September, maybe January, maybe parent teachers, maybe they're in sports. What if you pulled out a blank page and created this year with the energy of I heard this once and I love it. I am a piece of the master. Like I am a masterpiece. I am a piece of the master, whether you believe in God or the universe, knowing that you are powerful beyond measure. Going to say that again. Write it down. Create it. You're constantly co-creating with the universe. Here's the problem though. We don't say out loud or put our energy towards what we actually want to happen. And then we feel lost in those synchronicities. Opportunities can't find us. How do you want the year to ebb and flow? And also just plan. So in my family, there are sometimes shitstorms. And I don't know why, but November always ends up being a very busy, crazy month with all my son's appointments and just all the things in our family. It's a very busy month, probably September too. And then you've got March break and they're home. Like, what if, you're going to love this. You planned your spa days now based on the ebbs and flows of not only your practice and your family life, knowing, okay, I'm going to take off this day because I'm going to be coming off of a busy time where a lot of people need me. I would like you now, the very beginning of January, to book off your weekends in the summer. Please plan your ideal year. And you can start with your ideal day, but the way my brain works, I see all the months. I want to take off the whole summer, not from the McCants method, but just like really working a lot less. And maybe you're completely taking it off, like seeing clients, but still running the business from the beach, running the business from that cottage that you'll have soon. Jot it all down, keeping in mind, what can I delegate? What can I automate? And what can I eliminate? What can I delegate to my admin? Maybe you need to hire that min. What can I automate using AI and ChatGPT? I told you a few episodes ago, I'm obsessed with whisper flow. So when you talk, it types for you. That's amazing automation and saves me so much time in a day. There's 5 things I promise you can automate right now. Maybe it's leaning into your practice management software, JNAP, AI note-taking. JNAP also messages people on your waitlist for you. Gonna throw that. I'll put both in the show notes for you. What can you automate? And lastly, eliminate. Just stop. You don't have to be on the PTA meeting anymore. You don't have to do that thing anymore. Everybody who wants to pick your brain, you don't have to say yes to all of them anymore. I give you full permission to start saying no and putting yourself first. Finally, I want you to think about your zone of genius. As we're planning our year, we're planning our weekends away, we're planning our spa days, our time off. I also want you, by the way, to plan in your white space. What I mean is during the day, when you're running a business with people in it, you need time to put out fires. You need time to be a CEO. So when I was seeing clients and supervising, I had a half an hour between everything I did. White space helped me stay not overwhelmed. Because if I had something I needed to deal with, I had already booked that time in my calendar. And if I didn't need to go and do that thing, amazing. I had freedom to do whatever I wanted, a half an hour between every single appointment, supervision, client, phone call, meeting, check-in, a half an hour. And maybe it's just a half an hour to check emails and do Google Chat, but the white space will reduce the overwhelm. Now, zone of genius. That is something that you love doing. For me, it's this. You might be able to tell. It is helping you. It is creating, coming up with ideas. What is it for you? It's the thing that you love, that you're so in the flow when you're doing it, and you're good at it, and it's easy to you. What if you were to let go of everything else, and every day, most of the day, you did your zone of genius? Okay, fine. Maybe you'd pop in to do a check-in with a therapist. You lead a team meeting once a week or not once a month. Okay. But the rest of the time you were in CEO land. You were thinking, okay, higher vision here. Are we all going the way that, is this ship actually sailing the way that it should? The interesting thing about group practice is once you get busy and the clients start flowing and they start staying because you're using my retention model and my retention strategies, then you have to hire right away. And you want to be on top of that. I actually suggest that you start hiring when you're about 70% full. Because by the time you actually hire, now, when I say you, I mean your team, that therapist will be all the way full by the time you hire. And I give you a 6-step hiring model if we ever work together. So that takes a minute. That's why we're going to create our perfect year now. And you're going to plan the ebbs and flows, because you'll know, oh, that's a peak busy time. March, let's say, or May is when it gets really busy. And right around that time, I'm going to get a bit busier because I'm going to be hiring. Or if you're Canadian and you bring on interns, we all know they come September, January, and April. Is it April or May? I think it's May. The spring. What if you were to plan that now? And then you could plan your vacations around it. And here's the thing. Being a business owner is hard. I think the hardest part is that we have to now trust other humans. We have to manage them and different personalities. And thank goodness I help you find the best people, but it's still hard. That's why most people don't do it. And I'm so proud of you for stepping outside into no man's land, which feels so terrifying because you're so committed and your heart is so big and so bright that you are creating a legacy and a future beyond your wildest dreams. That one day your child, when they're 30 years old and you're whatever, 60, let's say, they're going to turn to you and say, oh my God, thank you. This lineage I will carry. You are changing generations, and it starts with the decisions you're making right now. And it's hard. Why I'm saying this is, even though you're going to plan out your perfect year, it is still going to be messy, but it's going to be juicy and it's going to be amazing, because guess what? We actually like the hard times, my friend. I know you're like, what? Because we love the dopamine hit that we get when we finally get to our goal. We like to be busy. You're listening to this because I know you're like me, and we say we're overwhelmed. Why did I say yes to that other thing? But we like it. That's why we do it all the time. We feel fully alive. Embrace the messiness. Yes, you're going to perfect this year. You're going to know your money metrics and your sales metrics and your time off and leaning to your zone of genius. You're going to delegate and automate and eliminate and write it all down, and you're powerful. And yes, it's going to mirror back to you because you're high vibe intention, and leave room for surprises. Leave room for growth. That's truly where we grow, is in the learnings and the messiness. And sometimes when it's hard, don't you find, maybe it's a year later, you look back and you say, I'm really glad that happened. I leave you with this. Set your intention, do it now, and leave this episode just knowing how powerful you are and that you are going to create 2026 with this high vibe intention and only bring to you, remember, you're constantly mirroring back. Always your life is mirroring what you're putting out. And today, everything shifts in such a big way. Happy New Year. I'm already proud of you and so excited for all that is to come. I'll see you next week.